Sam McVey, the man they called the Oxnard Cyclone. In the early 20th century, when boxing was gritty and raw, McVey stood out not just for his fists, but for the relentless force he brought into the ring. He wasn't just another boxer. He was a force of nature. His punches were like thunder, echoing through arenas and leaving opponents staggering. McVey's story isn't just about fighting. It's about a man who carved his name into boxing history with every devastating blow. Beyond the ropes, McVey's life mirrored the resilience of his fighting style. Born into a world where prejudice and adversity were constant opponents, he faced each with a defiance that mirrored the sway of his mighty punches. His journey transcended sport, becoming a beacon of hope and inspiration for those who dared to dream beyond the confines of their circumstances. Sam McVey was a celebrated heavyweight boxer in the early 20th century. Alongside other greats like Jack Johnson, Jeanette, Sam Langford, and Harry Wills, he was among the top black fighters of his time. Despite their skill, most of these boxers, except Johnson, were prevented from competing for the World Heavyweight Championship due to racial barriers, which Johnson ironically reinforced when he became the first black boxer to claim that title. Despite never getting a chance at the championship, McVey had a renowned career that traversed the globe. He achieved his greatest victories by defeating Sam Langford and Harry Wills twice each, earning him the world-colored heavyweight championship twice. Later in life, he trained and sparred with fighters of all backgrounds, helping them prepare for big fights. Born on May 17, 1884, Sam McVey stood 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed between 205 and 220 pounds. Known more for his strength in the ring, he started his professional career at 18 in 1902, according to BoxRec. Newspaper records from 1902 also mention earlier wins in Australia and California before his documented pro debut. During his era, interracial fights were rare, so McVey often squared off against other top black boxers like Sam Langford 15 times, Jeanette 5 times, Harry Wills 5 times, and Jack Johnson 3 times. Much of McVey's prime years were spent overseas. He moved to Paris in 1907, where he fought for 4 years before heading to Australia in 1911. After 3 more years of fighting down under, he eventually returned to the United States. On December 31, 1908, in Paris, Sam McVey faced off against jiu-jitsu expert Tano Matsuda in a unique match, knocking him out in just 10 seconds. Back in those days, there were occasional contests in Japan where Western boxers like McVey took on judo and jiu-jitsu fighters. Another notable bout took place on April 17, 1909, also in Paris, when Sam McVey fought Jeanette in what became one of the longest and most legendary fights of the early 20th century. Lasting an astonishing 50 rounds over 3.5 hours, McVey dominated much of the match, particularly in rounds 21 and 22 where he repeatedly knocked Jeanette down. However, Jeanette made a remarkable recovery by the 40th round, eventually turning the tide as McVey struggled with swollen eyes and had to concede the fight. In 1912, McVey was a contender for the world-colored heavyweight championship held across various venues in Australia. His opponent, Sam Langford, known as the Boston Tar Baby, was a renowned black Canadian fighter considered one of the greatest in history, having defeated champions across different weight classes. Before their matches, both boxers showcased their impressive skills and demonstrations. Before his fight at the exhibition rink buildings in Perth, Sam McVey stayed at the Nedlands Park Hotel where he showed off his skills in punching the ball, using the medicine bag, and sparring. His performance was truly impressive. Langford let his sparring partners hit him whenever and wherever they wanted. Watching his incredible footwork and head movement made it clear how he managed to defeat some of the world's best boxers. Langford moves as swiftly and gracefully as a ballet dancer. His punches are incredibly powerful, like a mule's kick, and he seems almost immune to taking damage. He is truly an exceptional fighter. McVey had a record of 122 fights, 74 wins, 14 losses, 60 wins by knockout, 5 losses by knockout, 13 wins by decision, 9 losses by decision, 1 win by disqualification, 0 loss by disqualification, 10 draws, and 3 no contests. McVey got pneumonia and passed away on December 23, 1921, in New York City, with little money even though he was still boxing. Jack Johnson paid for his burial and grave marker. McVey carved his legacy with raw power and relentless determination, challenging giants and shattering records along the way. His battles were not merely fights but epic sagas, where the canvas became a stage for courage, skill, and the unyielding spirit of a man who refused to be counted out. Today, the name Sam McVey, the Oxnard Cyclone, echoes through the corridors of boxing history, a testament to the enduring power of passion, perseverance, and the indomitable human spirit.